Hey, Joe Chesbro, Sam Via Ambassador. I'm wondering, where do you get your inspiration? You know, when you're looking for something new, what's coming, what's trending. So I was watching the Grammys recently, and I saw Miley Cyrus. And it wasn't really, although her hair was pretty fabulous. It was the boyfriend, right? Who's that guy? Maxx Morando is this guy's name. He's a drummer in a band called Lily, and he reminded me of a drummer that I remember from back in the day called Tommy Lee. If y'all don't know who I'm talking about, he was a drummer for Motley Crue. The hair is really similar, like really similar. I'll tell you what, I was there for it then, and I am here for it now. And not only was I there for it then, my hair was pretty similar, had the bangs, the whole thing. So what I want to do is sort of share some of the tips and tricks on how to create a shape like that. And I hope you're along for the ride, because it's going to be a good one. Stick with me. Let's get into it.
All right, we are starting with the sectioning. You can see that we sectioned out the sides, back, and nape with a center part in the back. On the top of the head, we have a round section, and we've left out enough in the front to drop down and create a fringe. We're now prepping the hair with Redken 1 United Leave-In Conditioner. We're going to elevate the nape to 90 degrees horizontal off the top of that section. And if you notice, we're just going to give it one twist. Once we've spun that hair around, we're going to cut a V into that section with the shortest bit right in center back. Awesome. All right, we're moving into the sides. We have to establish the length. What we're going to do is take a little piece from that front corner and cut it right below the cheekbone. That's going to help us to create a nice face frame. Once we've elevated to 90 degrees horizontal off the top of that section, we're going to bring our guide into the comb, rotate the comb until that hair is coming straight forward. Now we're shifting our cutting angle so that we are placing that length or volume towards the back. And we repeat that process on the opposite side. You're going to notice I'm using the fine teeth of my Sam Via cutting comb, so I have a little bit more tension and control while I'm moving the hair. All right, now we're moving into the back. We're going to drop those clips down into the nape so that we can secure that section away and make sure that we have isolated just that back area of the head. We're now taking diagonal sections that go from center back to top of ear. We're sectioning those out and securing them with the Sam Via hair grips. We're now taking that lower triangle section and we're going to over direct into center back. That means we need to stand our body position. We're standing right at center back, bringing it straight to ourselves and holding that hair with a vertical finger position and an even finger angle. And we're just going to cut that hair. That's going to leave a little bit more length right on top of the shoulders on either side of the head. Now we're dropping down the triangular sections on top, and instead of bringing it to the center back, we're actually going to bring that hair right to top of ear. We're establishing our length by taking one little piece down and dropping it down to cut it to about the same length as our perimeter. That's going to fill in that little hole that we created in the center back. This is to create a lot of positive and negative space and movement within our shape. All right, it's time to move to the top. I'm going to use those Sam Via grips again and hold that hair out of the way. I'm also clipped down the sides with my Sam Via sectioning clips. I'm dropping down the fringe, and I'm going to subdivide that fringe into two sections horizontally right across the hairline. The first section, we're going to comb it straight down with no elevation. We're going to compress that hair into center front. That's going to be over directing both corners, which is going to leave us a little bit of length on either side. I'm taking my comb and pushing that through the back using my fine teeth, and And I'm gonna cut the hair right at about the bridge of the nose with a straight line. Now that that's complete, we can drop down the rest of the hair that we have for our fringe area. And here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna twist that hair. Twist, 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 and we're gonna pull out our Sam Villa razor. We're gonna razor cut a little bit longer than the section that we cut underneath it. And that's gonna create some really fun erratic texture that falls around the face. All right, looking good so far. Let's move up to the top. We're almost there. We're gonna move those clips up. This has got a lot of disconnection in it, so you really wanna make sure you hang on to those clips so you can keep putting them in as you move on to the next section. For you cross-checkers out there, this one might drive you a little crazy. All right, now we are going to comb that hair forward, and we're going to take a section from right to left, straight across the head. We're going to elevate the hair 90 degrees vertical. We'll push it slightly forward to establish a little bit more length towards the back, and we're going to use our Sam Villa Artist Series shears. We're going to be cutting in pretty close to the root and cutting our way out from the inside. And if you see what I'm doing, I'm just moving my thumb, just moving the thumb ever so slightly. I'm not slide cutting. If I was, I'd probably bust out my slide cutting shears, but this is a different trick. Now that, if you notice there, I close it right when I get to my fingers, and that's what's establishing that length on our top section. Once you've cut a section, you just drag it back, drop it out of the way, and grab another one. And this is just lather, rinse, repeat. We're doing the same thing on each section as we work our way from the back to the front.
Oh, I thought it'd be me and you.
I want you to notice I cut a little bit out to the left, a little bit out to the left. Now I'm gonna cut right up the middle, and then I'll start cutting out to the right. I want you to think about like a sprinkler that you see in somebody's front yard, right? Like that the center stream shoots up straight and the other streams shoot out to the sides. That's kind of what I think about when I'm doing this technique, and it really helps me to stay on track. Notice as I get to the front, I'm pushing that hair back a little bit further. That's going to produce a little bit more length towards the front, or save some of that length towards the front by over directing it backwards. All right, now we can remove our clips and our grips, and let's see what we've got. This is a very shake and go kind of a look, and we're gonna just kind of pop up a little of that texture on the top. I'm gonna get this colored and styled, come back to you with that finished product, but I think we got ourselves a really cool looking haircut right here. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you had fun as much as I did. Thanks a lot. I hope you had as much fun as I did creating this rock and roll shape. If you have any questions, please drop it in the comments. I'm going to keep checking back, and I'll answer any of the questions that you have. And please continue to follow Sam Villa on his YouTube channel. You're going to see me here again. Until then, take it easy.